HIMYO. And welcome to the human experience. Once again, this is the beta of the human experience. So if you are tuning in right now, welcome. If you're tuning in a little later, you probably won't see this. so, um, so once again, just to explain what is happening here at the human experience. The human experience is a forum for humans to express compassion so that humans can experience compassion. And what you're going to be witnessing are people expressing themselves in a most compassionate way and sharing, and you, the world, finding out who they are. Now, the question you may ask is, how are you going to find out who they are? Well, we have formulated 7 questions that will allow you to experience the compassionate acts that this individual is. And you will also be able to find gems, jewels, nuggets that one will be able to use to be the happiest individual they can possibly be. Now, I am your host. I'll be known as True Him in this forum. Other people may know me as Himyo, or altruism, or activism, or just him, or maybe even yo. At any event, welcome to the experience. And so, as we grow within this human experience, what you will be able to have happen to you is you will be able to have the opportunity to show up, show out at a live human experience event that will be happening in the world. We will be acquiescing and attaching to social impact opportunities. And this round of human experiences has to deal with homelessness. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We are unfortunately, well, I am living in California at this moment, and there is a abundance of homelessness going on within this city in all shapes and forms. And so we are going to use this opportunity to shine light on homelessness. Because the idea is one can be homeless, they can't be hopeless. Because when you have no hope, what that does is it allows for the circumstances and the situation to negatively affect your outlook upon self. Example, I have been living in California for 6 years now. Yeah, about 6 years in LA. And out of those 6 years, I have experienced homelessness on, I would say, about 60% of my journey here. Now, one would say, why would you put yourself in a situation where you are supposedly have no well-being, right? Because the idea that is attached with homelessness is that if someone is homeless, then they have some type of mental defect, or they have some type of addiction, or they have maybe something about them that allows them to lead such a plightful life. And I will say that although I have been homeless, I have not been hopeless. And I've had amazing experiences and have been able to experience the compassion of an abundance of people. And so that's why, with this first round of human experiences, we're going to be attacking and looking at, when we have our event, what we are going to do is we're going to construct an environment where people from, or I should say, the first human experience that we had was done in Skid Row. And I had the opportunity to, or I should say, we had the opportunity to construct an environment where people from outside of the Skid Row community were able to come there and experience the aliveness, the community, the love that is radiating within that community. Something that we do not hear about. Because when you hear about Skid Row, what you hear about is, yes, the abuse that goes on there, the overall, the addiction, the affliction, the loss of life, or I should say, better yet, the loss of living. And we look at those individuals within that community as they are scum and scourge of the earth. And I am here to tell you that has not been my experience in that community. Now, I don't live in Skid Row. I am an outsider of that community. But when I am, or when I did have the opportunity to get to know the individuals within, get to know some individuals within that community, and get to work with some individuals in that community, I was opened to a world that I had no idea of. Quick story. So before I moved out to California, I had an experience in New York. At this moment, I was taking, I had left my job of being a social worker, getting children adopted for the state of New Jersey. I had left that to pursue the social work of edutainment. And so, as I was on my journey, I was taking classes at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in New York City. And one day, I had to go to a Buddhist meeting in New York. It was a major Buddhist meeting. I am a practitioner of Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism. If you've heard of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, then you heard of what it is that I practice. And I'll provide some links so that you can go research and find out yourself. So, moving on. So we had this big meeting that was going on within New York, right? And I lived in New Jersey at the time. And I knew that this meeting was in the evening, and the following day I had to go to class. And so I was like, I'm not gonna go out to New York and then go back to Jersey to then have to be back in New York early in the morning. I had friends that lived in New York, and so I had made arrangements to stay out in New York for that night to so that I could go to class in the morning. And as the night progressed, I was calling those friends who were not picking up the phone at that moment, right? And so it went on for a good while, and there was a choice, a decision that I made in the moment that was like, I'm not going back to Jersey. I'm just not going to do that. So I'm learning and I'm studying method acting. What is method acting? That's when you use experiences within your life to convey in the character that you play real emotions, right? So a real method of getting in touch with one's emotions that may not be associated with the particular characteristic that the character may have to display, but it provides a impetus for that. Method acting, loose explanation of method acting 101. Anyway, so bam, I'm going to take this class. I was like, all right, well, let me experience a day or a night, or what it would feel like to spend the night where in New York City, as though I was a homeless individual. Now, that night that I spent out there was definitely an experience because I had to number one think about what are our needs in life, right? Food, clothing, and shelter. Those are the basic needs that one has to have in their life in order to be able to function and operate. So clothing, yes, I had that. Check that off the list. Had that need. Food, I had just ate. I had some money to get some food, so had that covered. Shelter. Now, I thought I had that covered earlier, but I didn't. So then I had to then discover, how does one live a life where they have to, when they wake up in the morning, they don't know where their shelter is going to be. So what is the process that one would have to go through to find a secure shelter in the Big Apple nonetheless? How does one find safe shelter? How does one cover up from the elements? How do they stay warm um and just safe? And so I had to go through that experience. I had to look around every corner, check every dark street. What alley did I want to go in? Is that alley even safe? Where is a safe enough area where I am out of the way of people and I am still around people should anything happen to me, so that I could have witnesses or help could be there, right? And so that then became my journey. Where am I going to stay? How can I do this? Where can I find a spot? And the only safe place that I knew of in the area where I was at was in the area of where my Buddhist community center was, which happened to be across the park from where I was taking classes, right? So now that becomes, all right, I'm going to go to this place. All right, now other thoughts come arising. All right, this seems like a safe enough place. It's kind of dark. It has a little bit of shelter. The rain comes down, but now I'm like, wait, hold on. People are going to be coming to this place in the morning. People that I know. So where do I? What am I going to look like to them as they are walking up and opening this community center, and they see me tucked in a corner with a jacket over my head and a bag wrapped around a bag? What kind of how would that look to them? So then that became my thought. So now I'm worried about what others are going to be thinking of me at when they see me. Fast forward 7 years later, and I'm living in California, and I'm homeless. How did that experience there work for this experience here? How do I use these experiences to be able to express my gift of inspiring people to be the happiest they can possibly be? That question will be answered when we come back with the human experience. Hey, welcome back to the Human Experience. I am your host at TRUHIM. Holla at me on Instagram, Facebook. You can hit me at HIMYO. You don't really need my last name if you just hit me at HIMYO. There's not too many of me out there in the world, and if they are an imposter. So, where did we leave off? We left off in the human experience. We were talking about my experience of playing the role of a homeless person versus actually being a homeless person. Hey, it is what it is. But here's what I've learned. Throughout my experience, I have learned that, and when I say homeless, yes, I've had places to stay. No, I've had abodes, um, but my main, I would know. I can't even say that my main abode. I do have. I'm fortunate enough to at least have a mode of transportation that can take me from here to there, and when need be, provide me the shelter and the safety that one would need so that they're not out in the elements. I've also had the opportunity to have people in my life that not for not because they felt bad for me um or that they felt that they felt shameful of me or anything like that, and it wasn't out of a sense of like, I pity him so I'll take him in. Play on the word, him, him, yo. Anyway, um so I've had people in my life, and have been fortunate enough to have enough human capital when, ooh, sorry about that. Mute your phone, people. Mute your phones. Um, so I've had the opportunity to have human capital, right? So the idea of don't make money, make relationships, because people make money. Money doesn't make money. So if you have a network of people within your life, that can be just as um, rewarding as having a bank account full of money. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not advocating that I don't need money to live, or that money does not provide a purpose. But what I am saying is understanding what that purpose is for money when you have such an attachment for it. Because I have been able to do some amazing things in my life with very little material money. But since I have a material of love, of compassion, since I come from an intention of being of service to you, life has rewarded me with wonderful opportunities. And so being able to see these opportunities as a form of abundance has been the work that I've been able to do. And don't get me wrong, life is a continuous process of work. So I'm not done working. I'm working on something. I know I have a goal. I know there's a place that I want to do, and this has been the sacrifice that I have chosen to make. Regardless of what anybody thinks about how I live my life, I know that I come across people every day that I pour life into. And so the reward that I am able to receive when I am low on material money is the abundance of the individuals that I'm able to pour life into. That brings the network of individuals that allows me to be able to be here today recording the human experience due to the relationship that I have. So at the end of the day, my goal is getting accomplished. I wanted to bring to you all the human experience. And had I let my situation dictate what I'm going to do and what I am going to accomplish or how I'm going to be able to accomplish it, we would not be sharing this experience right now. So I think I've talked enough. And due to a relationship, a brother got to go because I'm about to go get my Muay Thai on and go get a workout in. And how did that come about? I'll leave you with this last one. Due to the fact that my whole purpose of being is to inspire you to be the happiest that you can possibly be, an individual reached out to me and said, dude, I want to train you in Muay Thai. I want to offer that to you because I've been watching your videos, I've been seeing your posts on Facebook, and man, thank you for that inspiration, brother. I see the work that you're doing. And so I want to offer this to you because this is what I can offer to you. And I was like, "Yo, man, like, uh, 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 thank you. Like, what can I do for you? Like, I'm, you know, I'm working, but I'm not generating income, so I can't, I don't have any money to offer you." So I was like, "So what can we exchange? What can we work out? What can I don't want anything for free. I'm not a freeloader. So what can we exchange?" He said, "Brother, I um just continue encouraging me to stay consistent because I have a problem with addiction. And if you could just encourage me and just be there and continue doing what you're doing and chant with me, chant for me, chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo," because he happens to be a practitioner of Nichiren Buddhism. Um, said, if you could do that, then at this moment, that'll be enough. Done deal. So I just came back on the reservation, on the grid, after going away for 10 days to do some inner spiritual work so that I can continue to keep my aliveness and my fullness of spirit. In order to be able to give without, you have to go deep within. And so I went away on a retreat so that I can do my inner work. And as I got back, I was like, all right, let me hit this dude up because today I got time, cuz. So I want to get this in. Why not? Why waste that benefit that life has provided me? So I hit him up and I said, "Hey brother, when can we start training?" He said, whenever you're ready." I said, "Well, I'm ready today." And so I knew that I wanted to get this human experience out because that is a commitment that I made to myself. And one of the most impactful things that someone can do to continue to keep their self value and self worth is to be self disciplined in the execution of that which they want to accomplish. And not only just have the ability to be self disciplined, when you do that consistently with a strategy, then the likelihood of that which you have strategized, plot, and planned is inevitable. And why is that? Because faith is simply be life. If you're being it, if you're living it, if you're using every moment of your life to be that which you say you want to be, then life will work with you to make it happen. But you got to do the work. And so for me, doing my inner work, my outer reality has brought abundance from all corners of life. And so with that, be happy, be love, be you, and be dynamic. You don't have to be perfect because perfect isn't real, but you have to be dynamic because everyone has the power to accomplish that which it is they want to accomplish. Know that, be that, live that. And with that, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to express my compassion. Deuces! Mhm.